All right. Hey, everyone. So good to see your faces. Happy Monday. Okay, before we jump in and start our training tonight, does anyone have something good from the previous week or the weekend that you would like to share? Doesn't have to be Plexus related. Just love to hear what's going on with you guys. Yeah, Fern, go ahead, unmute.
Well, I'm happy to say my daughter and son-in-law and their dog moved into their condo yesterday. Woo! Af-
Yay.
After staying with us for 7 months. So very
That's
excited.
amazing.
So I spent the whole day cleaning.
Hmm. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
you're so generous to house them for 7 months. You're a wonderful person, Fern.
Well, it was an opportunity.
Yep.
Um, and just one more, I just have to give a praise report. My niece who had a double mastectomy recently, just posted today that she went to her doctor for her follow-up visit and she's cancer free and does not have to have any more follow-up treatment except for when she has her reconstructive surgery. So that's amazing and so happy and so thankful to God for that.
That's incredible. Great news.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else have something good they want to share from the week? Yeah, Mom, go ahead.
I actually, along the same lines, kind of, Fern, one of my customers has had breast cancer, and she had a lump and thought that maybe she was going to have it removed, and her doctor was just sure it was cancer, and it's not. And so she's just so happy, and I want to just praise God for that. And also,
Yes.
my mom is getting stronger, and she's able to get her port taken out this week for the antibiotics, so she'll be able to have her knee replacement soon. So I'm very happy about all of that.
Yes, so great. Good news all around. And I also just wanted to share because last week we were on Keith Callahan's call, which was amazing. And if you guys missed it, you want to watch that recording. So it was so good. But that we had such a great Super Saturday. Many of you were tuned in for that. And I got to be in person with Shannon and Fern and Christy and others. And it was great. So I know many people hosted little local events and got together and just loved seeing your pictures. But it's always so good to be in person. And I've already announced to you guys, this is the year of me traveling to everyone. So I'm making my rounds. I'm coming for you. Watch out. I'll be in Ohio in April. And we've got all kinds of good stuff planned. So, okay. Thank you guys so much for sharing that good stuff. I'm just going to mute everybody again. Sorry. So there's no background noise. There we go. Okay. So happy. Oh, Shannon, were you trying to tell me something? Sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to share. I
Yes.
forgot that we weren't on our call last week. So
Mhm.
Super Saturday. So it's basically like 2 weeks that we haven't talked. But
Yep.
Brittany got me out of bed at 6 something to go see the sunrise. And it was like amazing, me and Sarah. So I don't think I've ever done that before. And I live really close to the beach, and that should not be a thing. And I also ate French onion soup for the first time that weekend also.
So many firsts. It was great.
It
It
was
was
all,
great.
yes.
I loved it. Yes. And that is like part of what our community and our team is about. Like when we can get together in person, it's not just like plexus, plexus, plexus. Like we have fun. Like there's relationships and connections. So I know Victoria did a live on our team page about convention today, and start thinking about it, guys. If you're not planning on being there yet, like it is amazing. And I'll just put a plug in for it right now. That is the one event of the year where we have the most like volume of our team in one place, and it's in Vegas. So super fun. So if there's any way on earth you can get to convention, get there because the connection, the training, all of it is so amazing. So I wasn't planning on doing a convention plug, but there we go.
Can I add something about convention?
Yes.
So this stuck with me last year, and I've been several times now, but I sat next to this lady and her daughter, and this lady has been with Plexus for, I think, on the upwards of 10 to 12 years. She is not even silver. And she goes to every convention because she loves the people and the just the positivity and how up like just, it's amazing. So just throwing that out there if you're second guessing.
Yeah, it's for everyone. Seriously. It's not just for people who want to build a huge business. It's not just for people that want to be diamond. It's literally for everyone. And I've told like friends that like, even if you weren't doing Plexus, you would benefit enormously because all of it is just applicable to life in general. Like you just leave so energized and pumped up. So thanks, Nicole. Okay, so let's jump into it. We're going to be talking about quality conversations. Okay. So last time we were together, which was 2 weeks ago, which is crazy. We talked about the winning day worksheets and the winning week. And we like worked through, okay, what maintains your business and what moves you forward? Like what are the actual activities that propel you? And Victoria shared that little like triangle of like the activities we really need to do first that move the needle, and then the icing things that we, tend to gravitate towards, but they're not as important or effective. So we talked about that, and several of you said like, yes, we need some accountability around business activities, right? Because nothing changes on those winning day sheets, but yet it's so hard to be consistent. And I just want you to know I struggle, just like you guys struggle with just doing the things consistently, because fear creeps in, or procrastination creeps in, or just life and time management, and all of the struggles that we all share. So as I was thinking about accountability, I was thinking like, what would that look like? What is something that is manageable that we can really stick with from now until convention, right? So convention is in June, like something that we can be consistent with for 6 months and that isn't overwhelming to like report on or to share your progress, right? Because those winning day sheets are long. Sending screenshots of messages and conversations is like really cumbersome. I'm like, all right, what can we do? So there was a couple of things that aligned, and I'm really pumped to share like a simple solution with you guys. So one of the big things, the big parts of winning day and what propels you forward is having conversations about the business opportunity, right? Like whether you are brand new, and my mom and I just did a call with someone who's interested in sharing, and I was telling her, this person has never shared Plexus before, like if you find a running buddy, like basically someone to start doing this business with you right out of the gate, it's going to help you so much. So you don't have to be way, awesome at the business to start having business conversations. You can literally be brand new and talking about the opportunity with other people, right? You're getting started because of the opportunity. So just share that, and, ask people to partner with you. But having conversations about the business propels us forward, but it's often the thing that we skip, right? We're like, that's hard. I'm going to skip that piece. I'm not going to check off that box today. And if we do it, sometimes we just send a message and we're like, whoo, okay, check it off. Glad that's done. Like moving on. That's not really effective, right? Like that's not a quality conversation. So some of the things that aligned, Victoria posted on quality conversations on our Made to Thrive Brilliant at the Basics page, which is our business builder page. She did a post and that got my wheels turning, something that she had learned from her training that she's doing. The other thing that aligned was the build your own incentive that Plexus is doing for us from now until convention. We all really want to focus on developing new level 1 builders from silver to gold, right? Every single month, I'm just going to say this incentive again because it's so good. Every single month, January, February, March, April, if you add 6 people, you get an additional $400. If you develop 3 people, that's anyone, a level 1 customer of yours that develops to silver, senior silver, or gold. If you have 3 people develop to silver, let's say, you earn an additional $400. And if you retain 6 customers, you earn an additional $200. So that is a $1,000 earning opportunity that we have every single month, January, February, March, April. So that develop 3, right? 3 people go silver or 3 people go senior silver, gold. That is huge. And having those business conversations is what's going to make that happen. And then the other thing that aligned, so Victoria's post, the build your own incentive, was Keith's training from last week, Keith Callahan. And that was awesome. And he just reminded me like what a gift this opportunity is and how it changes lives. So if you find yourself like in a funk around sharing the business, I just recommend picking up Build to Last or listening to the call with Keith, and it will remind you like how it's so important and what we do actually has an impact on people. Like it changes lives. When you are coming from that space and you know what you're all about, like the fear goes away. And when you're focused on serving the person you're talking to, the fear goes away, right? We only have fear around reaching out, whether it's about the products or the business, when we're focused on ourselves, right? What if they reject me? What if they think I'm just after a sale? Well, you're focused on yourself. You're worried about how it's going to feel for you if they say no. When we're focused on service and we're confident that like this opportunity, our community, the way that we do network marketing is awesome. When you're like solid on that, you're not going to have fear and hesitation around sharing the business. It's like, I'm going to tell everybody about this. If it's not for them, that's okay, right? It's not for everybody, and that's okay. But my job is to make sure I'm telling everybody about it. Okay. So those things all aligned. And I loved the tracking sheet that Victoria shared on Brilliant at the Basics about quality conversations. So I made us one for our team. And this is what I think we can do together for accountability, and it's not going to be overwhelming. So all it is it says quality conversations at the top, and it has every single week of the year. Okay. So this tracking sheet is for the entire year. You have 52 weeks in a year. Each one has the date. And the goal is just to have one quality conversation per week. Okay. This is an actual conversation with someone about the business opportunity. It could be a phone call. It could be a coffee date. It could be a Zoom. It could even be messaging back and forth. But the point is to actually connect and present the opportunity to at least one person per week. Okay. Everybody tracking with me so far? Does it make sense? Okay. So this simple, really easy one pager, like one page for the year, we can't get simpler than that, right? Is all we need. And I have a thread posted in Brilliant at the Basics that says quality conversations, accountability. And what I'm going to encourage everyone to do, if you're on board and you're like, yes, I need accountability in this area, keep track, just take a picture of it and pop it in the comments. And we'll just have one thread going for accountability. Really, really simple. And it may seem like, okay, that's not going to move the needle, like one conversation per week. But I guarantee you there's been many, many weeks where I did not have one quality conversation about the business, right? Probably like months and like long stretches of time. So when this is in front of you and it's doable, right? You're like, I just need to have one conversation. So tomorrow at our homeschool co-op, I asked a friend who is super into personal growth and mindset, and like she's reading all the same books I'm reading. I was like, can I just chat with you at lunch about what I do and how I think you'd be awesome at it? And she was like, yeah, we can chat. Boom. That's a quality conversation. Now, I don't want to count my eggs before they've hatched. I actually need to talk to her tomorrow, and I have some samples for her, but that's it. Like, it doesn't have to be super complicated. The Zoom call that Mom and I did with her customer, that was a quality conversation today. We were talking about the business. And, you know, I just want to paint the picture for what this could do for you. So let's say you have 50 conversations this year. You're committed. It's January, guys. Like, it's the beginning of the year. We have plenty of time. You have 50 conversations this year. If just 10% decide to join you in the business, that's 5 new business builders for you in 2024. Guys, that is all you need to grow a diamond team. 5 business builders, right? Most diamonds do not have more than 5 working legs on their team. So that's only if 10% engage, you know, if 10%. So even with these quality conversations, you're not expecting 100% yes. You're not expecting 100%, I'm all in, like, let's do this. I want to be diamond. Even if just 10% decide to run with you, you would have a completely different business by the end of the year. And that's why on the bottom, I put that quote, I am one conversation away from a completely different business. It is crazy how quickly things can change. So even if you have felt a little stuck or stagnant or like, well, you know, my business builders aren't working, or, you know, so-and-so quit on me, you're just one conversation away from a completely different business. Okay. We need to keep that in mind. So we have to keep having the quality conversations. If you guys read Build to Last, again, Keith Callahan, he gave that analogy of flipping cups. Who read that? Who knows what I'm talking about? Because I can recap it real quick. Okay, not everyone does. So if you had a gymnasium full of red Solo cups upside down, right? Just the floor was covered, and you knew that there were 5 diamonds, real diamonds, underneath those cups, and all you had to do was keep flipping and you would eventually find them. you would keep flipping, right? Like you would start and it might be the last 5 cups that you flip that had the diamonds in them, or it might be the first 5, or it might be 1 every 100 cups, but you would keep flipping because you know that's there. So within your network, within the people that you know, that you have influence with, or that you're connected with on social media, there are people that want to do this business. Everybody's looking for additional income right now, right? I just had a friend at church. I was sitting in the nursery yesterday and she's like, we're making the same amount of money, but our expenses have gone through the roof, right? Because like inflation is crazy and the price of everything is crazy. People are looking for extra ways to bring in income. Okay. So those 5 diamonds, those 5 people that want to do this are out there. And these quality conversations are like flipping the cups. Okay. Any questions about what that is, what the tracking sheet is?
No, but can I share something?
Yeah.
So I'm doing this Emily Gibson training, and she said in the beginning, she's like, I wasn't popular on Instagram. I wasn't popular on Facebook. I had 450 Facebook friends. And at the height of my business with Plexus, she was making $60,000 a month. And she didn't have, all these 50,000 followers, nothing like that. 400 Facebook friends. She said, I had quality conversations, quality business builders. And there wasn't, I wanted to say, she said like 6 people, like
Yeah.
a crazy amount that if you're just working together and having fun with it, you can do amazing things.
That's incredible. And it's so true. You don't need a million business builders. You really just need a handful of motivated people that want to do this with you. Yeah, $60,000 a month, right? Like some people aren't making that in a year, and that would absolutely change their lives. Yeah. Yeah, pretty life-changing. Okay, amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And Nicole's going to do our team call next week and tell us more about what she learned from her training. So that was a teaser, and you all have to come back next week to hear the rest. Okay, so I also wanted to mention feeling resistance around this, right? Because it's very simple, keeping track of these things. But if you're like, oh, I can't commit to that, I'm not doing it. If you're feeling that, just ask yourself why, like without any judgment, just why? Why am I feeling so much resistance? Just honestly dive into why you are maybe not willing to do that and what the result will be if you're unwilling to present the business opportunity, right? Like what will the result be if I never talk about the business? Well, you're never going to have a business builder, right? Most likely. And if that's what you want, that's okay. That's fine. There's no judgment. But on the flip side of the coin, what might be the result if you are willing to have one quality business conversation per week? How might your business change in 2024? It could be completely different, right? Once you've ironed out the whys and the why nots, right? Why would I want to do this or why not, right? Because we weigh it on the scales. Like, is this going to be worth it for me? Right? You have to decide if this kind of activity is worth it for you. Once you've ironed that out, I know that the how jumps right into the forefront of our minds, right? Like, well, how? Who am I talking to? How do I find these people to have these conversations with? So we can chat through that a bit. I have some ideas for you. So how do you decide who to pursue for a quality conversation? And I would really focus on that you pursued the conversation, right? Because the person might say no to coffee, or my friend could have said like, no, I don't want to chat with you about your business tomorrow. I'm keeping track of who I'm attempting a conversation with. And then if I am able to do it, what was the result? Like, what did they say? Or how did the conversation go? So focus on trying, and maybe you need to talk to 2 or 3 people to actually have one good conversation. But who am I talking to? Who am I reaching out? Okay, so I had some thoughts for you on creating your list. I think it's really helpful to sit down and brainstorm through a whole bunch of names, right? You don't want to get to the beginning of next week and be like, oh my gosh, who am I going to talk to, right? It's very helpful when you're in a good frame of mind to get some names down. Like, I know all of these people would be fantastic at what we're doing. So who do you contact? Number 1, people that come to mind that would be awesome at the business. You just know they have that spark or that fire or that influence. You know they'd be amazing. Put them on your list. Number 2, people that you know need additional income. Okay. If you see people moaning on Facebook or in person to you that everything's more expensive and cost of living has gone up, people that you know need additional income, or maybe they have a kid starting college, or they just had a baby and they don't want to go back to work, whatever it may be. Those are people to reach out and say, hey, can I chat, would you chat with me for 10 minutes on the phone? I would love to just tell you what I do. I think you might be interested in it, right? And Keith shared that that was the phone, like his sponsor had been talking to him about the business for months and months and months. And he was like, no, 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 no. And he finally said like, hey, will you give me an hour of your time? I just want to talk to you. And that was the conversation that changed everything. And he became, network marketing millionaire. So getting people on the phone is huge. Okay. So people that come to mind that would be awesome at the business, people that need additional income. Number 3, people that have liked or commented on your Plexus posts, right? That is a perfect list of people to reach out to. And I encourage you guys to post about the business. It doesn't have to be anything massive. It could be my Plexus paycheck filled my gas tank this week, little things. Post about the business, post about the opportunity. Those people are people to reach out to. Number 4, customers that are loving their products. If you have happy customers that have been consistent on their products and they're loving it, talk to them about the opportunity. Ask them, hey, could you chat with me for 10 minutes this week? I would love to talk to you about how you could refer people and make some income with Plexus. That could be a quality conversation. And then number 5, customers that shared in the past but have fallen off. Okay, so maybe they wanted to go silver at one time and they tried a few things and they quit. I personally have a lot of customers that wanted to share, and when that first rejection hit, they fell off. They just couldn't handle it. And so I'm revisiting that and saying like, hey, I'm in a better place to coach you now. I've learned a lot more. Could we try again? Like, would you be willing to trust me to try this again? Okay, so I'll recap those. Creating your list. Number 1, people that come to mind that would be great at the business. Number 2, people that need additional income. Number 3, people that have liked or commented on your Plexus posts, especially business posts. Number 4, customers that are loving their products. And number 5, customers that shared in the past but have fallen off. Okay, so don't let the how stall you. There's plenty of people to talk to. Mom, were you raising your hand?
I
Yeah,
was.
go
Can
ahead.
I just share, also, I would add to that is people that you've asked who said no. Like Amy that I talked to today has been taking the products, buying them every month for 2 years now. And when I first reached out to her, she said to me, do I have to sell these in order to take them? And I'm like, no, no, no. She goes, oh, good, because I'm not into multi-level. None of my friends are into it. But I kept thinking that because I loved her personality and I care about her, that she would be great at this. So I revisited that, and it ended up in a phone call with her and I, and then a 3-way Zoom with Brittany today. So don't give up on people who've said no in the past. If you feel like you would love to partner with them, because you just know you're like-minded, that's a big deal too.
Yeah, very true. And just like when you talk to someone about the products, it can take 7 to 10 times for them to finally want to try them. Same thing with the business opportunity. It can take 7 to 10 times for them to be like, okay, I want to try this. I know when I first started, I had no belief in myself that I could do this. I needed someone to tell me like 20 times, I know you'd be really good at this. I know you could do this. Someone had to tell me because I didn't believe it for myself. Victoria, yeah, you can share your thought.
Okay, I was gonna say this is also why it's really important to think about what you want your team in the future to look like. What kind of team culture do you want? What do you envision for your team? And when you are thinking about these people that you want to have quality conversations with, make sure that their values are aligned with yours, because that is what's going to make it fun. And that's what's going to make you guys really come together, stick together, and persevere when times get tough. So don't just have conversations with anybody, but really try to visualize what you want that to look like, a year from now, 5 years from now, etc.
Yes, because if they say yes, these are your new business partners and you got to work with them. So yes, you want to pick people that are aligned with your values. That is huge. Okay, so I want to just end by tying this all together. And this is where comfort zone comes in that I mentioned at the beginning. So we have been super slowly working through Secret Code of Success. Like it's taking forever for us to talk through all these chapters, but it's okay. So in the next chapter that I was going to cover months ago, he talks about systems. and how often we don't implement the things that are actually going to produce change because we're stuck in our familiar zone. So he doesn't call it a comfort zone. He calls it a familiar zone. And having these quality conversations is definitely going to push you out of your familiar zone. It's going to feel very unfamiliar at first. So I wanted to read you just a little excerpt from Secret Code of Success. So the author is Noah St. John, and he says, get out of your familiar zone. During my live seminars, I ask people, how many people feel that clutter is a problem in your life? And I can ask you guys, how many people feel that clutter is a problem, right? Like, yeah, 75% of hands go up. Why do we have such a problem with clutter? While I could give you a lot of surface answers, it always comes down to fear. Fear keeps us in our familiar zone. You've heard a million times that you need to get out of your comfort zone, but consider this. Let's say you're driving down the road of life with one foot on the brake. You are aware that you're holding yourself back and you don't like it. You wouldn't be reading this book if that weren't true. Now, here's my question to you. Is that feeling comfortable? Is the feeling of going down the road of life with your foot on the brake comfortable? You and I both know that it isn't comfortable. In fact, it's decidedly uncomfortable. It is, however, familiar. When you look at the word familiar, what does that word look like to you? Right, family. Family is the root of the word familiar. Some people in my seminar say family liar. That's what it looks like. The point is, you don't need to break out of your comfort zone because your comfort zone doesn't exist. You need to break out of your familiar zone. Yeah. And then he goes on, but I'll stop there. So when you think about comfort zone, it's not comfortable to stay where you are. It's not, for someone that needs extra income, it's not comfortable to stay doing what they're doing. It's just familiar, right? So I think even reframing that as we're doing this to say, oh, this is uncomfortable, it's just unfamiliar. And what is really awesome is that once you do something a few times and you're, consistent with something for a few days or a few weeks or a few months, it's not unfamiliar anymore. Now it's familiar, right? It still might be uncomfortable at times and conversations can be difficult, but it's familiar and it doesn't feel so hard anymore. So I thought that was a great way to end because I know when we go to have conversations about the business, fear definitely creeps in, but don't let fear stop you from expanding into that unfamiliar zone. Okay, so if you guys want this little tracking sheet, which is literally one piece of paper, nothing fancy here, it's on our Brilliant at the Basics Facebook page. There is that thread. You can jump in with that this week. And I really think this is doable. It's accountability that we all need. It's what's going to move the needle forward for us. It's pushing us out of the familiar zone, and it's something that we can maintain. I'm going to say from now to convention, let's give it the 6 months. Okay. And then reevaluate and remeasure if this is working or if we want to do something else. But if you're on board, just hop over to that post and you can get the sheet, or if you need me to email it to you, let me know and I can email it. Any last thoughts or questions before we hop off? Okay. Well, you guys are awesome for being here. Thanks for staying close to the fire. That's the new thing we're saying, stay close to the fire. And I hope you guys have a great week. And as always, if you guys have questions about this or other thoughts, just message me. If you need me to email it to you, just send me your email address and I will pop it over to you as a PDF. All right, guys, have a great week. Bye.